Joe Rogan. Have y'all been seeing these clips? Y'all been seeing everything that's going on?
Dude, I stand by my white brother.
You know, that's the funniest part to me, man. Ladies, in case you don't know, all right, Joe Rogan, first of all, this all started with him over at Spotify. He was talking about the vaccine stuff. Everyone's saying spreading misinformation, yada, 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 silence this man, all this stuff that is becoming now. That didn't work. Spotify stood by their man, right? All right, couple weeks, like literally not even like a week later, not even a week, maybe a couple days later, compilation video comes out of just 12 years of podcasts, and I guess of just a compilation of nothing but N-word
You can
bombs.
say it. Go ahead. Say it.
I'm not going to say it because you want me to say it. Look how you tries to take control. And come on now.
Isn't it crazy? Listen.
This bitch.
Try to do me like that.
Listen, well, if we're in here with two black people, Bobby's throwing words around. Don't feel
Okay, but listen. Before you.
Our buddy Joe.
No,
problem saying it, so neither should you.
No. Our buddy Joe. Here's the thing.
Mikey's buddy Joe.
I was about to say the reason why white dudes defend him so much is what I understand now is that Joe Rogan is just Uncle Phil for white kids that grew up without dads. That's all he fucking is, dude. Like,
that's hilarious.
He taught me how to like.
That's the clip.
Yeah.
That's the clip, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Rogan is a white Uncle Phil for
Yeah, dude. Like for white kids that grew up without dads. He's like, he taught me about acid and about pyramids and shit.
That's fucking great.
Like, that's all it is.
That's great. I think the funniest part of this whole thing for me, man, and this is a comedy show. He put out an apology video. He did all this stuff. It's harder to forgive Joe Rogan as a black person when you go to the comments because the people defending him are all people who look like they just say the word.
Yeah, dude.
Literally, I'm going to go read the first comments right now. Literally, everyone is just like, we stand in solidarity with you, brother. We've been saying that since 2000, and we're not going to stop now. Like, shit, like, it's so funny, man. It's so funny. But oh man, like what do you think? What do you think? You have an opinion? Do you have a changed opinion on Joe Rogan because any of this came out? And I'm gonna ask you the same thing. What did you think of him before, number one? And what do you think of him now? Go ahead, Mikey B.
So I don't, my opinion didn't change because I knew that he said the N-word like so many times.
Yes.
If you listen to old Opie and Anthony clips, all it is two white stupid ass hosts just shouting it, and then Joe Rogan thinking, well, they're doing it, and then he'll just throw it around too. You know what I mean?
Patrice is on the show now.
Yeah, like, Patrice is on the show. Louis C.K. said it, but the difference is that Louis C.K. has an artistry in the way that he had approached that word initially,
and he's a minority. He's a ginger.
Yeah, he's a ginger Mexican technically. Yeah,
I would say that, and also in the matter of just like I think like I saw his video explaining like the compilation video was just back to back to back to back to back. Yeah. But when you explain, when he was like, oh no, I was talking about a Richard Pryor bit, or like seeing like the old clips, because these are from 12, 13 years ago. Yeah. Where it's like, oh, he's actually talking about Richard Pryor putting out a comedy album. Yeah. With the word nigger, like that's the name of the comedy. Yeah. Like stuff like that. So that before then I did not, which I will say I never listened to Rogan stand up much before. Yeah. Previously, you know what I mean? But I definitely don't have a difference of opinion after these came out, because it just felt too targeted, man. It felt like they were trying to weaponize that word for me to not fuck with him. I get what you know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's how it felt to me.
So you're an ally.
I'm an ally to white people.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love white people. I love white people. And also, I think like the reason I can't even clown the people defending Joe Rogan and like in the comments for this stuff is we gotta be, at some point we gotta be honest, man. Like white people are the majority in this country. All right, there's more of them than there is of us. All right, if like
so watch yourself.
You're the biggest. Hold on, you're the biggest white person in the world. Obviously, most of your fan base is gonna look just like you. You know what I mean? So that's why I give it a pass, because I'm like, who do you think are in? Who do y'all want to cancel Joe Rogan?
It's a bunch of dads with Oakleys in their Ford F-150 just taking fucking selfies for their profile pic.
We've all seen that. We've all seen that the Trump voter compilation.
Dude. Yeah.
I'm about to be in that compilation if he runs again. Come on, Big T.
Holy shit.
You a Trumpy? You a Trumpsty?
I might become one. Nigga.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know.
I only
Yeah.
got one stimulus, and it was from Big T. Biden lied to me.
Hey, that's so true.
Him and Kamala took my vote and ran away. Man, I should have gave it to Kanye.
Well, yeah, they're fucking. I mean, they're.
if I knew how much he would have had going on.
And you just mispronounced her name.
I did it on purpose.
That Tucker Carlson got ripped apart for it. Like,
To be fair, he's a trust fund boy. Like,
there are other things you should give him
She's
fuck
also
for as
never
well.
going to listen to this. She probably watches their show all the time.
Nah, she's watching this show right now.
You think?
You brought up her name.
Bust it open. No, I'm kidding.
Whoa.
I'm talking about the chains.
But I mean, go
Bust
ahead.
the chains open. You know? Free our people. Free my people from behind the wall while they cheer me on.
Let me get a UBI. Let me get a UBI.
Bust the chains from your loins.
Final thoughts on Joe Rogan and this whole debacle. Do you guys want to I don't have a changed opinion. I listen to the show every now and then. I don't listen to it all the way through every single time it comes out. If I'm being, I listen when there's interesting guests that I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this necessarily doesn't change my opinion on Rogan. This kind of just changes my opinion on the people who are doing all this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, hey, why did you put this out right now to try and weaponize this to get me to care?
For
you
sure.
know?
Yeah.
But what do you think? Do you're
Not really. Like I've never really listened to him super often. I
Yeah.
think it's interesting when like you said, when he has interesting guests. I'm like, all right, cool. But I've never been I've never been a Roganite. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I've never been knuckle dragging
Roganite?
on
That's
my
funny.
way to the gym, blasting him and Ben Shapiro talking about fucking trans culture. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so it's like it's like it's not affecting me. You know?
Yeah, which I don't have a problem with. Like, what do you think about Rogan, Mikey? Before we move on,
So when I first went to Jacksonville, I got
you said the N word. I mean, the way you started that, I don't know. What?
that's when
Every time I'm on 95 South entering the city,
Everyone else went Duval. Mikey goes.
Yeah. I whisper one and then kiss my hand and put it on the roof. Dude. That's like
Go ahead, Mikey.
So when I first went to Jacksonville, I didn't really have anything to listen to. I didn't know the radio station, so I did NPR for like a solid 2 months, and I
Okay.
thought I was so cool for a minute.
Yeah.
And then, right. NPR, you're like, oh, what music is this? And you hear about everything, and it's non-biased, whatever. So there's just so then I started listening to a lot of Joe Rogan because it was just so consistent. I was spending time at work. I had so much time to listen, and I was listening to every single episode back to back to back to back for a solid like year and a half when I first moved here.
Okay.
and I will say, by the way, the David Goggins videos with him. David Goggins.
That's the coach.
He's fucking
the,
amazing.
The motivational.
Yeah,
guy?
the
Okay.
Navy SEAL. Yeah, that
yeah.
guy's a monster. He's awesome.
Go ahead. You got final closing thoughts on Rogan. We got to talk about Akash next.
Basically, we'll tie it in actually perfectly. Today he just posted one of his podcasts with
Akash Singh.
and he talks about the first 10 minutes. He goes, it'd be different if I didn't apologize or anything like that, but I do regret what I said saying that word
Yeah,
that much. And
he even said that.
and I put a formal apology out. And so I think that's like, usually in this day and age, people want to stick to their fucking guns to keep their little fan base or what the fuck ever it is.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Joe Rogan's, I mean, it's not really like he's willing to sit there and apologize. Obviously, he should apologize.
Yeah.
But the fact that he said, I'm apologizing, I regret saying that, like I shouldn't have done it. Bang. Like he did what you guys wanted. Like what more do you want from the man?
Exactly.
Like,
So I that's exactly how I feel. Like I think he put the video out. And a lot of people who are still upset didn't even go watch the whole video. Which I get it. There are people who are thinking, oh, there's never acceptable. I don't give a fuck what his explanation was and all this stuff. But at the same time, I just encourage people to think for themselves. You know what I mean? And with that being said, this next comedian thought for himself, because this is a very unique comedy special, I feel like.
Yeah.
Akash Singh, we've been talking about it for a couple weeks, right, on this podcast, Mikey. He put out a comedy special, Bring Back a Poof.